Well, howdy there, folks. Welcome back to Stewie MTG, and today we've got Firja Judge of Valor, another Orzhov submission for our 32 deck challenge. Firja, an Angel Cleric for 5 mana, 2 a white and 2 black for a 2/4 flying with lifelink. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Predominantly, we are going to get a second spell, 2 spells each turn, and use that ability, but mainly this was an excuse to do a Cleric Tribal deck. But in order to cast all of these Clerics, we need some mana rocks. We've got ourselves a Relic Vial. Once again, the Cleric include whenever one of our Clerics dies, each opponent loses 1 life and I gain 1 life. This is going to be, once again, a sub-theme of the deck. There's both life gain, life loss, as well as a little bit of sacrifice theme. We have ourselves a Soul Ring, Marble Diamond, Charcoal Diamond, Orzhov Keyrune, Orzhov Locket, Orzhov Signet. And once again, with us sacrificing everything, it really doesn't help give everything persist. To be able to bring those things back from our graveyard, sacrifice them again, and to start as ad nauseum. We just have a few enchantments to help us on this same journey. We've got Cleric Class to help us gain an additional amount of life. Phyrexian Reclamation, get those creatures we sacrificed out of the graveyard. And then the same way with Debtor's Knell during our upkeep, getting another creature. With that, let's take a look at our instants and sorceries that are going to help us cast this stack of clerics. Got ourselves a Dark Ritual, and since it's clerics, can't help but have a shiny Misery Charm. Cauldron Haze, once again, to give them Persist, Disenchant, Fracture, Mortify, card draw in Sign in Blood, Read the Bones. And since it's a black deck, it really doesn't take too much to put a debt to the Deathless in an Orzhov deck. Same thing with Kaya's Wrath. Got ourselves a Diabolic Tutor. Profane Prayers can actually end up dealing quite a bit of damage. We have ourselves a Revival and Revenge to double up our life total, and a board wipe in Merciless Eviction. Now for our stack of clerics throughout the history of Magic, we have ourselves a Champion of Alms, Lunarch Veteran, Giver of Runes, all the way back from Legends, Clergy of the Holy Nimbus, and a Mother of Runes, Soul Warden. Let me fix the zoom here, guys. Sorry about that. Death Speakers, Null Priest of Oblivion, Dawnbringer Cleric, Disciple of Grizzlebrand, Suture Priest, Battlefield Medic, Priest of Forgotten Gods, Ailey Eternal Pilgrim. Ailey was originally the commander for this deck, but when Firja came out, I had to switch that out because you guys know my affinity with angels. War Priest of Thune, Elias Ilkor, Shadow Rune Priest, and it wouldn't be a Stewie MTG deck that's talking about clerics without Preacher. Because if you guys didn't know, that is my calling and profession. And so hopefully I don't quite look like that guy behind the pulpit, but you know, I could. Jaren, Corrupted Bishop, Devout Chaplain, Transcendent Master, and what is a cleric deck with sacrificing without Athreos? Order of White Clay, Doomed Necromancer, Keepers of the Faith, once again from Legends, and you got to have an Edgewalker if you're running a cleric deck. Devout Lycaster, one of my favorite clerics. Original Zendikar standard. And when I was playing at the local game shop, I had 4 Devout Lycasters in a mono white life gain deck. There was plenty of removal in the format. It was great. Not as good as my mono green standard deck at the time, but that's a whole nother conversation. Pious Evangel, Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, Cabal Archon, Entomber Exarch, Healer of the Pride, Whisper Blood Liturgist, Skemfar Shadow Sage, Doubtless One. Now, just as a side note, Doubtless One, Heedless One, and then the blue one, Nameless One. That cycle was awesome. For those of us like me who like to build tribal, it gives us an opportunity to have a very large creature on the board for 4 mana with some type of upside. In this particular case, a form of lifelink. Got ourselves a Witch Hunter, Vile Deacon in Foily, Milcaeus the Unhallowed from the Lua Prima Secret Lair, looks great. Shadowheart Dark Justicar, Victory's Envoy, and Battletide Alchemist rounds out our clerics. We've got ourselves a Base Camp, Path of Ancestry, Starlit Sanctum, Silver Quill Campus, Sunlit Marsh, Snowfield Sinkhole, Orzhov Basilica, Tainted Field from Torment. That was another fun set. Forsaken Sanctuary, Scoured Barrens, Silent Clearing, Temple of Silence, Fetid Heath, Caves of Koilos, Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds, Esper Panorama, Grixis Panorama, and lastly, Myriad Landscape. Well, thanks for taking a look at Firja and hearing my ramblings about the past. It can't help that I'm a old fart, and between the dad jokes and the remembering the old times that you guys put up with me. But this has been Stewie MTG and looking at Firja's Clerics. We will catch you all later.